The Trojans have a wonderful opportunity to make the college football playoff in 2026, and not just make the playoffs and be a first round exit or a second round or quarterfinal exit or a semifinal exit. I think they might be able to win the whole thing next year based on the roster that I have seen this year and what they can slash should return. So let's dive into that. Riley made progress this year. They were top 15 unanimously in power ratings. Their offense was better than it was last year. Defense was about the same, I think with a higher upside, maybe a bit of a lower floor at times. But I also think they played with Notre Dame and Oregon and Michigan and maybe you could even say Illinois when they played them with the injuries that happened. They played a comparable schedule to last year. Better offenses is what they faced. Travel schedule was a bit easier. It's a pretty similar schedule overall. Looking at their schedule next year, they have an open slot, so they only have 11 games scheduled. They play Fresno State, Ohio State, Oregon, Washington, Maryland at home. Notre Dame, it's scheduled to play, but the location hasn't been sorted out. I imagine it will be played in LA, but maybe I'm wrong. So that is anywhere from 5 to 6 home games, and that open slot will be made a home game. So they'll be playing 6 to 7 home games. And their road schedule, all Big Ten games, is going to be at Indiana, at Penn State, at Rutgers, at UCLA, and at Wisconsin. That could shape up to be a very tough schedule, with Indiana, Ohio State, and Oregon possibly being top 10 teams, Notre Dame possibly, and probably 4 of them, if not 3 to 4, definitely will be. Penn State, if Matt Campbell makes the right decisions in transfer portal acquisitions, coaching acquisitions, and roster talent, maybe Penn State can bounce back and be a top 15, top 10 team. And traveling to Rutgers and Wisconsin just trip-wise is going to be hard. And Washington should get better. This is a tough schedule. I know. But let me sell you on the idea that despite that, USC might have something going next year. Most importantly is their good returning production. In theory, they could return around 16 starters. In theory. This channel will make you a college football expert and help you enjoy watching games and make more accurate predictions. So what are you waiting for? Like, subscribe, ring the notification bell, comment your thoughts, and watch the video all the way through so that you can get the full package. And check the description and pinned comment for more ways to help yourself and this channel. Let's look over their starting roster as of right now, where you think Makai Lemon and you think Jacoby Lane are gone, and maybe Jade Mayava. Tanu Kynes, he's coming back. Tobias Raymond, Kalen Miller, John Ray Reed is gone, but Killian O'Connor, their starting center for much of the year and their best, he should be back. Alane Noah, Justin Ta'anu, Lake McCree is gone. King Miller will be back. Maybe Jade Mayava could return. That is anywhere from, like, in terms of starters, I'm talking about they started at one point in the year and they've had playing time. That's anywhere from 7 to 8 starters possibly being back. 7 to 8, maybe 6 to 8. The majority of the offense will be back, especially the offensive line. There will be a lot more depth on the O-line next year than this year, I think. And you have that recruiting class coming in that's large enough to where because you have 35 commits, you're going to get a larger variation in the samples that you have, just because you have more of them. So there's going to be more of a chance that you get results that are on the bell curve, both ends of the bell curve in that class. Like, there's a higher chance USC gets a really bad bust, and a higher chance too that they have a freshman phenom that pans out. More likely the latter than the former with how they've recruited. But returning that much on offense, especially if you can bring one of the receivers back, which might be unrealistic, but maybe, just maybe, it isn't so unrealistic. I think more so for Jacoby Lane than Makai Lemon. And maybe you bring Jade Mayava back. But if not, I trust Riley enough with quarterback to where I think Hassan Longstreet would be ready. And if not, they'd bring in a portal guy. Look on defense, though. Defensively, Devin Tompkins should be back. Jahid Abasiri should be back. Cameron Crawford should be back. Jakeem Stewart, Gus Cordova went into the portal, but Jakeem Stewart will be back. Braylon Shelby should be back. At linebacker, Desmond Stevens II should be back. Marcellus Williams will be back at corner. Christian Pierce at free safety could return. I imagine Kamari Ramsey's coming back with the rough year he had health-wise. That's a lot of starters that you could bring back. Not saying they'll bring back all of them, because some of them have a decision to make. But I think they will bring back a good amount of those guys. They could bring back nearly all of the ones I mentioned, and that would just be such a loaded team next year. The offense is proven. So you wondered how Riley's offense would work in the Big Ten. It has had some issues, for sure. But he's fielded 3 top 10 offenses at USC. This year, and then the 2 years with Caleb Williams. Last year is the aberration. It's the exception to the rule. So his offense is proven. And that's one side of the ball, one side of the field that you can just check right off. The run game has improved. And they return 4 to 5 offensive linemen that are currently listed as starters, factoring in Killian O'Connor. I know they've had some injuries there, but that's also created more experience for them next year to pull off of. And they've averaged 5.92 yards per carry, which is 14th. The rushing game needs to improve on the road. They will probably get Waymon Jordan back, who, now that I remember, was factored into the 16 returning starters. Jordan will return along with King Miller. That's going to be a really good 1-2 punch right there. I expect the ground game to be even better next year than it was this year, especially from a physicality angle. This year, the physicality was good. The scheme was elite. The physicality next year might be elite on top of the scheme being what it is. The defensive line, so much youth there. So many new faces. They lost a lot there from last year. And now their bodies are bigger, they're healthier, they're more talented. Stewart will be a sophomore. Crawford will be a junior. Abasiri will be a junior. And Devin Tompkins will be a redshirt senior. And I imagine they will bring players in the portal if need be. That will all help a ton. Defensive line is an area where they showed a lot of upside this year, but they were also inconsistent. I think they will be better there next year. They returned 6 out of 8, in theory, 6 out of 8 2 deep players. It's, I think, now 5 out of 8 with Cordova entering the transfer portal. Yes, it is 5 out of 8, but still, that's quite a bit when the majority of those were starting guys and they were rotating in there. And last but not least, with the addition of Tremaine Carroll and with how much they're returning on the staff for next year, they have one of the best staffs in the Big Ten and consequently one of the best staffs in America. And all of that makes this coming season a must-make-it year for USC. I know the schedule's tough, but USC's a blue blood. They have a great coaching staff. They have a talented roster. They should have a lot returning. If they make good moves in the portal and develop well, as they should, USC will be in play for not just a playoff spot next year, but possibly a national championship along with it. Thank you for watching. It's my mission on College Football with Sam to make you the most informed, knowledgeable, and entertained fan as possible. We aren't perfect, but we hit the nail on the head more often than we hit our thumb with the hammer. Make sure to like, subscribe, ring the notification bell, comment, and if you're here, you've probably already watched the whole video. So thank you for doing those things.